Georgie and Mandy's first marriage can do George Sr's death better justice than young Sheldon. After young Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is poised to even do a much better job at handling George's death. Despite being a fun family show, The Big Bang Theory prequel never shied away from tackling sensitive issues. Throughout its 7-year run on the air, young Sheldon addressed marital issues, mental health, and even teenage pregnancy without losing its identity as a comedy series. All of those prepared them for the Cooper family's worst tragedy towards the end, when Sheldon and the clan unexpectedly lost their patriarch due to a fatal heart attack at work. Because of the established canon in The Big Bang Theory, George's death was one of the most anticipated plots in the prequel. The creatives behind young Sheldon even confirmed that it was indeed happening before the series wrapped up after its shortened season 7. Despite that, the event was still emotional. It was heartbreaking to watch Sheldon and the family cope with the devastating loss. Arguably, George's funeral outing is The Big Bang Theory franchise's best episode. Still, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is poised to do a better job tackling the narrative. Young Sheldon didn't have time to explore the full impact of George Sr's death. George's death happened towards the end of young Sheldon. Because of how beloved Lance Barber was to the show, young Sheldon delayed George's death for as long as possible, happening during the closing minutes of Season 7, Episode 13. At that point, there was only 2 outings left before the series officially wrapped up. While Episode 14 was devoted to the aftermath of the tragedy, young Sheldon had to eventually move on from the devastating arc in its very last outing, as it shifted focus on transitioning Sheldon to his new life in California. This was where The Big Bang Theory's Sheldon and Amy appeared via a flash-forward. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage can add a lot more depth to George Sr's death. Young Sheldon's sequel has a better opportunity exploring the ramifications of George passing. Because Georgie and Mandy's first marriage will pick up just a couple of months after George's death, it can still tackle the fallout from the young Sheldon finale. Georgie's grief was barely focused on in the previous series because he had to make arrangements for his father's funeral. As he raises his own family, while also taking care of Mary and Missy, his show can properly explore how his life drastically changed when his dad passed away. Beyond that, Missy's Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's expanded role allows it to delve deeper into her reaction to losing George. Another layer of storytelling that can add depth to George's death is the relationship between Georgie and his father-in-law, Jim McAllister. It's no secret that George didn't have the best dynamic with his firstborn, especially during young Sheldon's earlier years. It got better towards the end of the project, with the pair even having a final heart-to-heart talk before the Cooper patriarch died about his son's aspirations to become rich, something that he eventually achieves. That said, seeing Georgie look up to Jim and remember his dad in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage could make George's death more emotional.